Hello everyone and a very warm welcome to this lesson. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to change nouns from singular to plural. What does singular mean? Singular means one and plural means many. So how do you change nouns from singular to plural? Remember, a noun is the name of a person, a place, or a thing. So, for you to be able to change nouns from singular to plural, we have to follow some rules. And if you apply these rules, then you will never get it wrong. You will always be able to change your nouns correctly from singular to plural. Now, before we begin the lesson, I would like to welcome all the new subscribers to the channel. A very warm welcome to every single one of you. So, let us begin the lesson. Rule number 1. Add an S after a noun to make it plural. Now, this is the first general rule, that when you want to change a noun from singular to plural, you should add an S at the end of it. And how do you do that? Look at examples 1 on the right. Dog becomes dogs. So we simply add an S at the end of the word dog. Then cat becomes cats. Radio becomes radios. A book becomes books. So you have one dog and then you have many dogs. You have one radio and then you have many radios. You have one cat and then you have many cats. You have one book and then you have many books. So that's the general rule, that if you want to change a noun from singular to plural, you simply add an S at the end of the noun. However, let us move on to rule number 2. Exceptions to rule number 1 above are, so rule number 1 does not apply to all the nouns. There are some exceptions. There are some nouns which, if you have to change them from singular to plural, you can't add an S at the end of it. What are these nouns? Look at rule number 2A. If a noun ends with an S or CH, then add ES at the end to make it plural. So, when you have a noun that ends with an S or it ends with CH, to make it plural, add ES at the end of it. How do you do that? Let's look at examples 2A on the right. You have bus. Bus ends with S. So, to change it to plural, we will add ES and it becomes buses. Bus, buses. And then we have coach, like for example, a football coach. Now, coach ends with CH. So, to make it plural, we add ES and it becomes coaches. Coach, scotches. And then we have watch. Like for example, probably you're wearing a watch. Now, the plural of watch is watches. Watch ends with CH. So to change it to plural, we add ES and it becomes watches. So, if you have a noun and the noun ends with an S or it ends with CH, to make it plural, add ES. Let's move on to rule number 2B. If a noun ends with O, then add ES to make it plural. Let us look at some examples. 2B on the right. Hero. Okay, it ends with O. That word, hero, ends with O. To make it plural, we add ES and it becomes heroes. Hero, heroes. And then we have the word potato. That word potato ends with O. To make it plural, we add ES and it becomes potatoes. So, potato, potatoes. Let us move on to rule number 2C. To nouns which end with F or EF. So, if a noun ends with F or EF, then you add VES to make it plural. How do you do that? Let's look at example 2C. Thief. That word ends with F. To make it plural, we add VES. So we remove the F and then we replace it with VES and it becomes thieves. So thief is one and then thieves are two. So you remove the F and then you put VES and it becomes plural. The next noun is knife. Knife. Again, you have F at the end of that word. You have F. So, to change it, it becomes knives. So you remove F and E and you replace it with VES and it becomes knives. Now, let's move on to rule number 2D. After a consonant, after a consonant, Y, add ES to make it plural. So if you have a noun that ends with the letter Y, the letter Y is a consonant. The reason it is a consonant is because it's not a vowel. In English, we have letters of the alphabet. And out of those letters of the alphabet, 5 of them are vowels. That is A, E, I, O, U. Those are vowels and the rest of them are consonants. So if you have a word or a noun that ends with Y and the letter just before the Y is a consonant, then you have to add ES to make it plural. So you remove the Y and you add IES. Okay? And it becomes ladies. Lady becomes ladies. Okay? So we have done that because the noun lady ends with Y, and before the Y we have a consonant, which is D. So it becomes ladies. Rule number E, number 2E. After a vowel, remember I said vowels are 5 of them: A, E, O, U. So if a word ends with Y, if a noun ends with Y, and the word just before it is a vowel, then you don't change. You don't change that noun to plural by adding ES. Instead, you just add an S to make it plural. Okay? For example, look at example 2E. Boy becomes boys. Why? Because boy ends with Y and the letter just before the Y is a vowel. So, to change it from singular to plural, we simply add an S. But remember, if the noun ends with a Y, but the letter just before the Y is a consonant, then you have to add IES. Remember, we have the English alphabet from A to Z. And out of those letters in the alphabet, we have 5 vowels. And all the rest of them, we call them consonants. Now, let us move on to rule number 3. We have irregular nouns which do not follow any of these rules. So they don't follow rule number 1. They don't follow rule number 2. They are irregular nouns. These ones, you just have to memorize them. But fortunately, I have written them for you. So look at examples 3 on the right. Child becomes children. Okay? Child becomes children. I have 1 child. You have 2 children. And then mouse. Mouse becomes mice. Take note, that sound mouse or U has become I. So I have removed O, U and replaced it with I. Mouse becomes mice. Mouse, mice. I have seen a lot of mice in the garden. I have seen 1 mouse. Then you have foot becomes feet. My foot is painful. Both my feet are painful. So O becomes EE. Foot, feet. The same thing, you have tooth. O becomes EE. Tooth, teeth. And then you have goose. O becomes EE. Geese. Goose, geese. Foot, feet. Tooth, teeth. And then you have man becomes men. Woman becomes women. Chinese becomes Chinese. That does not change at all. I have seen one Chinese person. I have seen two Chinese people. I have seen 10 Chinese people. That does not change whether it's singular or plural. Another one that does not change is sheep. I have bought one sheep. I have bought 20 sheep. That does not change. The next one is fish. Fish does not change. I have caught one fish. I have caught 20 fish. Now this is one of the pronouns that one of the nouns that really disturbs a lot of my students. I've had a lot of them saying fishes. That is not correct English. You have one fish and you have 20 fish. It does not change. And then you have Japanese and Japanese. That does not change either. So be careful with those words. Just memorize them, and the best way to do it is to say them. When you say them, your tongue kind of just gets used to it. Now, let us move on to rule number 4. Some nouns do not change from singular to plural. When you use a number with these words or these nouns, then you must add a pair of or pairs of. So we do have some other nouns that do not change, whether it's singular or plural. They do not change. They remain the same. But when you use a number like 1, 2, 3, 10, 7, when you use a number with any of these nouns, then you must add a pair of or pairs of. And what do I mean? Look at examples 4 on the right. Trousers. That is, it remains the same. Trousers, trouser. Jeans, jeans. Shorts, shorts. Tights is tights. Panties, pants. Pajamas, glasses, spectacles, binoculars, scissors. Those nouns do not change from singular to plural. Okay? Now, usually we tend to use them with a pair of or pairs of. I have bought a pair of trousers. I am wearing a pair of green trousers. I am wearing a pair of jeans. I am wearing a pair of shorts. I am wearing a pair of tights. I am wearing a pair of panties. Okay, so I am wearing jeans and a t-shirt, for example. I am wearing jeans and a t-shirt. But when I use it with a number, I bought 2 pairs of shorts. I bought 2 pairs of shorts. I bought 3 pairs of jeans. I bought 1 pair of shorts. I bought 2 pairs of tights. I bought 2 pairs of panties. I bought 1 pair of pants. I bought 1 pair of pajamas. I bought 1 pair of glasses. I bought 1 pair of spectacles. I bought 1 pair of binoculars. I bought 10 scissors. So those words do not change in the plural or in the singular. You can simply use them as they are, whether you're speaking in the singular, whether you mean one or whether you mean many. However, when you use them with numbers, then remember to use a pair of or pairs of. I bought 2 pairs of shorts. I bought 1 pair of shorts. I bought a pair of trousers. I bought a pair of spectacles. I bought a pair of shorts. Okay? So if you want to speak about these words in the plural, you can use pairs of or a pair of. If you want to speak about these words in the singular, again just use a pair of or pairs of, because these words do not change from singular to plural. Okay, then let's move on to the last rule. Some nouns in English are already in the plural form, okay? Some words in English are already in the plural form. These include groups of people or animals. So that there are certain nouns in English which they already are in the plural form. You don't need to change them at all. And they include groups of people or animals, okay? Let's look at example 5. These words include police, people, majority, audience, staff. These words are already in the plural form. For example, you can say, people are complaining about high taxes. Now, people there is plural. It means many people. It means a group of people. Then look at the next example. The police are looking for the thief. Now, the police is already plural, so you don't need to change it, okay? These words are already in plural. Now, finally, some nouns in English are already in the plural form, that is, groups of people or animals. Okay, we have already seen that. And then B, a title that includes a group of people. Sometimes you have a title in English or a noun in English that is already plural because it includes a lot of people. For example, look at example 6 on the right. Liverpool hope to beat Arsenal soon. Now, Liverpool is a football club, it's a football team. That means that there's more than one player. So that word is already plural. And so is Arsenal. Arsenal is also a football club. And that means that Arsenal, when we're talking about Arsenal, we're not talking about one person. We're referring to many people. Okay? Many footballers. So when you want to use any of those words, then remember, you don't have to change the word to plural because that word is already in the plural form. Okay? And this brings me to the end of this lesson. I hope that this lesson has helped you to know how to change nouns from singular to plural. I hope that you understand how to apply the rules. And if you found this lesson useful or informative or helpful in any way, have you subscribed to the channel? If you haven't, then subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up and share this video with your friends, your family, your college mates, your colleagues, and anybody else who may need it. Thank you very much and see you in my next lesson. Bye bye.